mentally, their egos and stuff like that. Like they need a team around them because it's a lot of pressure on them. You know,
Have
that's
you been
what
hit in the head yet?
they all get hit in the head. You know, that's just a part of football.
What the fuck kind of question was that?
I think she's talking about the CTE or something
Yeah,
like that.
do you think that was
I don't think that's
had
it.
anything to do with it?
Nah. I mean, he was a rookie, so he ain't been in the league that long. But it's just the you know, the nerves and stuff like that. That's all.
Yeah, he been hit in the head.
Bro, shut the
It's
fuck
football.
up.
Everybody getting hit in the motherfucking head.
Right.
You're listening to Big Facts with Big Bank and DJ Scream.
Live from First Class Sounds, you know who it is, DJ Scream, Big Bank is here,
Scream.
Baby Jade is here. It's time for another episode of Big Facts, and today we will be having a conversation. You know, we have conversations, you know, with hustlers from all different walks of life. If you're a hustler, we respect that. And today we are very, 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 very happy to have Ed Davis, CEO and founder of Checkmate Sports, in the building on Big Facts.
Hey.
Nah,
And he is also the son of the legendary Big Duke from Boys in the Hood, right?
Yes, sir.
He said, "I'm his firstborn, man."
Yeah. Eastside Resida.
When you started your company?
So we launched Checkmate Sports in 2019. Got into the industry about 2016, working with other agents, interning, trying to, you know, find my way in, and then eventually learned the game. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and start Checkmate. So we launched in 2019 and been up and running ever since.
And what made you decide to go that route? Because the average young black man wants to play sports and rap. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So what made you decide, man, I want to go be an agent and help niggas not fuck their money up, kind of guide them along the right path and all that shit?
Man, that's a good question. Honestly, seeing my dad in the music industry, you know, he started out with Suave House, So Def, and all that, and just seeing him, basically, he was giving me the game at such a young age, like, man, this music industry ain't what you think it is. And so instead of it turning me on and trying to get into it, I was like, all right, Pops, well, you did this, you know, you giving me the game, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go this way.
So he used to tell you some of the bullshit that go on in the industry?
Yeah, from day one.
Like, what's some of the things he kind of told you, like?
Some stuff I ain't even going to say, you know what I'm saying? But it's some stuff, you know, that a lot of stuff going, you know, casting couches and crazy type of stuff to get into the industry. And it was something that I wasn't, you know, just morally, it just wasn't aligned with that. So I said, you know what, either I was going to try to be a producer, a DJ or something like that, but I just didn't have the skill set for it. But I played ball. I was a quarterback, was really good at that. I said, you know what, this is my lane. So I've been rocking with that ever since.
Yeah, that's how it go. You ain't force it. Basically, like, you ain't trying to force something that you ain't feel.
Right.
That's real. So how many athletes you got signed to you?
So right now we got about 5. We got 2 guys that went into the league. Travis Reed from South Alabama, we got him to the Colts. And Christian Angelo from Hampton University, he ended up going to the New York Giants. And the cool thing about that is we did that in the heart of the pandemic. Yeah. So we launched Checkmate Sports in 2019. And it was crazy because our first draft class ended up going into the draft in 2020. But we all know what happened in 2020 with COVID. So our first year, we coming out the gate trying to make a name for ourselves. We put about 20, 30K into these guys' training. And then comes for, you know, when it gets ready for them to go to Pro Day in March 2020, they shut everything down.
So when you put the 20 or 30,000 into their training and, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff, how do you guarantee that you recoup?
Ain't no guarantee.
There is no guarantee.
That's it's like investing into a rapper. Shit. Ain't no guarantee.
Yeah. You breaking artists, you breaking athletes.
No
that's what we doing. That's the crazy part about it.
How hard is it to be black owned in this shit though? Like,
man, it's difficult. I think in any industry when you black, especially when you going into industries where we're not known, you know, like if you start a record label, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? We done seen Birdman, we see people who did it, but when you get into the sports world and that good old boy network, it's a little difficult. And that's why I had to launch Checkmate Sports, because I was interning for other agents trying to get in, but they would always little brother me. You know what I'm saying? They would just make me do a little, you know, BS work, Microsoft Excel, stuff like that. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to stack my bread up. And then, you know, we took off with Checkmate.
For sure. With your whole staff black, or you got?
Yeah, I used to have an Hispanic guy, but he ended up starting his little agency and stuff like that. We put him on, but right now we're just all black on.
Okay.
So what is your approach to keep athletes, like, on the proper path to get to that level of that draft? Because keeping it real, we don't have athletes here that keep it real. Like, I smoke, I drink lean, I do this, I do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you obviously know now this is your investment. You don't put money into them. It's a little different than a rapper. Like, you got to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's some of the shit you do to keep them niggas straight and narrow? And another thing that can fuck these athletes up too is the women.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Most
like
definitely.
someone can have vices with women, be going too crazy. They don't practice. They ain't focused. You know what I'm saying? And that can fuck it up. So how you keep them focused?
On the outside looking in, when you're a fan or when you just watch the game as a novice, you wonder why certain players stay in the league longer than others. And then when you start to get in an agent or in the industry where you're investing in these players, you start to respect guys like Larry Fitzgerald and Jerry Rice and guys who got the talent and stay out of trouble. But to be honest, most of these guys, man, they they got the egos. A lot of them are divas and stuff like that. But that's why they need they divas, man.
What they be doing, bro?
Man, I had a guy. I got him to the league, and I ain't gonna say his name, but it was crazy because I got him to the league after all the pandemic stuff. It was crazy. He called.
It got to be one of the two people you just named,
right,
but we'll fall back.
Yeah, but it ain't. It is
one of them two.
So and I ain't gonna say,
Right.
but he get him to the league, right? He called me 4 a.m. I'm thinking he got arrested, something crazy to happen. I pick up the phone, like, what's going on? I feel like Jerry Maguire. So I'm like, here it goes. He's like, man, I want to come home. I said, for what? What happened? He's just like, man, I walked in the team room and I seen the depth chart and I was like, okay, what happened? Man, they had me last on the depth chart. I said, okay, then what happened?
Right.
Nothing. That's it. I'm last. I'm like,
Meaning you probably not gonna play, bro.
dude, you was unranked, undrafted. You
got
be happy you there. You know what I'm saying?
You getting your
Happy
money.
you there.
You getting your money.
And so it was like 5 a.m. I had to call his mom, his dad. We sitting on the phone. We just having a whole little, we trying to keep him from jumping off the cliff. So that right there was my first little thing. Like, man, these guys that mentally, their egos and stuff like that, like they need a team around them because it's a lot of pressure on them. You know,
Have you been hit in the head yet?
They all get hit in the head. You know, that's just a part of football.
What the fuck kind of question was that?
I think she's talking about the CTE or something
Yeah,
like that.
do you think that was
I don't think that's
had
it.
anything to do with it?
Nah, I mean, he was a rookie, so he ain't been in the league that long. But it's just the the nerves and stuff like that. That's all.
Yeah, he been hit in the head.
Bro, shut the
It's
fuck
football.
up.
Everybody getting hit in the motherfucking head.
Right.
Hey, so what else kind of diva shit you be seeing in this shit?
Man, you believe it or not, man, a lot of times the athletes get a bad rap, but it's the people around them. You know, when you get into the industry, you start realizing that it be the handlers, the middleman, the mom, the dad, the cousins who more Hollywood than the actual athlete. You know, so that's the stuff that you have to deal with as an agent. You know, if you're trying to talk to a player, they may be locked in on football, they locked in on basketball, whatever. But then you have to go. He'll say, okay, talk to my uncle, talk to my dad, talk to my, So now you gotta go talk to the dad who talking to 3 other agents, who may promise them a job, promise them, X amount. So it's a lot of stuff similar to the music industry. It's the same thing. It's just instead of they rapping, they throwing the football, catching it. It's funny. It was one of these guys I was recruiting. And I actually drove up to his house. I went in, and I went into the house. Buddy put me on to him. I walk in the house. They had $20,000 in ones on the table. So I'm looking around. I'm thinking like, okay, this is set up. I'm like, what's going on? Come to find out, his dad owned can't say what it is because people link it, but he owns a business where he need a lot of ones. You get it? So they up there cash, counting money on the table, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. I ain't gonna say, but I'm like, okay, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see already where this conversation going ahead. So I do my little pitch, and then at the end, they looking at me and they like, okay, so, I feel it. I'm like, what's up? What y'all got to say? Let's say it. And they was like, what you gonna put some money up or something? I'm like, so now I sit back in the chair, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be one of these conversations.
Well, you ain't talking.
So
you gotta give a nigga some money. Though.
I mean, that's cool, but it has to. Let me say that's cool. I understand that. That's part of the game. But a lot of times people, be throwing out astronomical numbers.
So what? So hold on, let me see this. So what the agent job to do? When I come to you, how am I selling myself to you? Like if I was a prospect right now, what would you come tell me and my family? If
you was a prospect, first of all, we want to make sure that you're going to be the focal point of our agency. A lot of times players go to the agencies that have 100 clients.
But what I'm saying, I'm
how
already
can you-
that. I'm already
how can
that.
you-
I'm already him. I'm already that nigga. What you gonna tell me to make me
He
fuck with you?
ranked.
Basically, what I'm going to do is just show them that we're going to work for them, fight for them, and have their best interest at heart. We took 2 guys that were under the radar and that was unranked, Travis and Christian from HBCUs. So imagine what we could do for a player like you from Georgia, Alabama, USC, things like that. So we're going to make sure that we
You're
get
not
you
getting
into
what
the
I'm
league.
saying, though. I get what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying is, I'm already that nigga coming out of high school. I know I'm finna be the shit.
He's Zion.
But you trying to sign me.
Zion Williamson.
What are you telling me? You telling me some shit that that's already gonna happen.
And he probably hearing it. Let's just keep it real. He probably hearing it, even though you're the black agent. He at his heart, he want to fuck with you, but he hearing it from the white agents. He's hearing
Yeah,
the
like
same
what
thing.
you gonna say special? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it ain't nothing special to say. It's just building that relationship. Everybody going to say the same thing, but who you rock with? Who going to be there? Yeah, that's what it is. At the end of the day, we all got the same money. We all gonna pay for the same training. We all pass the same exams. We all can negotiate the same contracts. It's just who do you like? Who do you relate with?
I guess it's like.
But
a
I'm
law-
over here,
I guess
this
it's like a
white
law-
boy over here telling me he finna give me goddamn 200,000-300,000, and he already got goddamn.
They can't do that though.
Yeah.
What you mean they can't
That's
do that?
illegal.
Yeah,
They can't
Oh,
do
it
that.
is?
Yeah, they can't do that.
So what you mean? Oh, so when they ask you for money, that's illegal.
That's why I be like, we got to sit back and stuff like that. But I mean, it's illegal. But then there's ways that people maneuver around it.
I've been seeing nigga
where they
paying these young niggas forever though, coming out of high school. Go ahead, Jay. Ask your question, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. Ask your
I don't know
question,
nothing
Jay.
about that.
I don't have a question.
Bro, what you finna say, bro?
I already asked it. He
What?
answered it, I guess. I don't know.
It's like
For the
choosing.
record,
It's
I'm
like
not doing that.
it's like
Nah, you better not.
It's like choosing a lawyer. Like, it's the lawyer that you trust, or the manager that you
Yeah.
trust, or whatever.
Oh,
the
so it's
case
just
is.
a nigga just to go represent you like a manager.
That's what a sports agent
That's all
is.
we
Except
are.
they
We
put a
just
little
match
bit
you for
into you because they got to get you trained and shit. You see
So
what
what
I'm saying?
about the niggas like, how you see a nigga in the hood like be fuck with all these athletes coming up and got them make sure they go to
They the
school?
middleman.
Oh, they the nigga that bring it to the
They the
agent.
runner.
They get paid too.
They like an A&R or something. They go find the town, then they go take it to the agent, or they go take it to whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get paid too. You know what I'm saying? On the back end.
Oh, they split
It's
the
like a
percentage.
finder's fee or some shit, right?
On the back end, if that player blows
But
up.
I heard niggas say like they split the percentage with the agent. Like I think it's like 4% they give you, or 5%.
A lot of that stuff is really, they're not supposed to be doing that. So, but I mean,
How the hell I'm supposed to get in if I've been taking care of this young nigga? Because you can't do
I'm
it as an
telling you,
agent.
I'm not saying
Me,
that-
I'm
I'm not
running
saying
around
that
with
He's
this
really
nigga.
the gray area.
I'm
He's
telling
saying
you,
that.
yeah, a lot of that stuff that they doing is under the table. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it ain't supposed to be like that.
So this is the fucked up thing that they've been saying about college athletes, right? That's why they just passed the
NIL.
He
NIL
ain't
shit.
get money now, ain't right?
Yeah.
Now they can
But
get
now
some
the
money.
game gonna change.
But before they just wanted them niggas to starve.
Right.
And that's where everybody been kind of protesting the NCAA and all that shit because it's like you can't do nothing, you can't do that, you can't get no money here. All you can do is play football and go to class.
Exactly.
It don't make sense because a lot of these niggas coming from nothing and they family at home fucked up, and you telling me I can't get no money. So why?
You know a nigga gonna do some illegal shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got to.
Got to take some type of risk.
I got
Exactly.
to. Like shit, damn nigga, this shit ain't guaranteed.
Exactly.
One thing about that ball, that shit ain't guaranteed.
Nah.
One thing can go wrong. You take one hit. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy part is the universities, the coaches, everybody else making millions of dollars, but the players, the athletes, they not.
They always get the short end
So
of the
what's
stick.
what's like marketing for like a sports agent?
So the best way I can explain it is I feel like athletes are now the new influencers. So you know how you got Jake Paul and these guys making millions of dollars, but now they're trying to get into boxing. But now you got guys like, just think of Reggie Bush when he was coming
Right,
out,
right.
Zion, when these guys were mega stars,
Yeah.
but they wasn't able to capitalize off of it. But now if you got 4 or 5 million followers, you can hook up with a supplement company. You can hook up with up and coming Nike or something like that and promote it to your brand, to your social media, and now you get paid. And that's going to change the landscape for agents because now if you are a big firm and you just say, hey, so-and-so, I'm going to throw you $100,000. If you a freshman been making, 2-3 million a year, that 100,000 don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
So now it's no longer about who got the bigger bag. It's really about the right thing. Who do you relate to? Who do you trust? And who do you feel, got your best interest? So that's why, I'm really excited. And I'm also focused now on the college athletes because it gives you a step ahead. Because a lot of these agents don't know who the best players are. They just wait to see who ESPN say, oh, he's the number one player, and then they go throw bags.
So they
at
ain't
him.
going to get them niggas out the mud.
They don't know. They don't know the real talent until everybody else know it.
Yeah.
So for agents like me and people who really know the game,
Yeah.
you know, you be knowing these guys 9th, 10th grade year.
Yeah.
You know, build that relationship with them, and then when they become superstars, you already got them.
You already locked in.
You already got them.
So what you do is something that happens. So sometimes a rapper might be signed to a CEO, 123 Records, or whatever the case is, right? And then I don't know, their eyes might get big, and somebody might get in their ear, and they'll be like, "Man, I don't want to be with you no more. I want to be with them." You know what I'm saying? Y'all crazy. Out the top, out the daily on top. That's how y'all do it.
Shit, that Puff them be doing on them commercials.
Hey, there you go.
Get
Salute.
the way to drink it.
Salute. So how would you deal with an athlete that you went and got out the mud, put the money into him, training him, all that shit, if somebody got his ear and be like, bro, I don't want to be with you no more. I want to go be with them other folks.
I think the first thing you got to do is you can't take it personal because that's just part of the business. And you treat it just like a relationship with your significant other. It's always going to be somebody trying to get at them. But if you're doing your job, doing right by them, all you can do is just trust and hope that, you know,
They'll do the right
they
thing.
do the right thing. But do people get in their ear? Most definitely. But that's why you got to have certain things in place where if I put X amount of dollars in you and you go somewhere else, I need to get that back. So that's how it go.
Okay, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So what's some of the other shit that you thought about getting into other than sports, or some other business, or some other shit you got going on?
Man, so the cool thing about what I did was it was so hard for me to get into the industry. And I noticed, you know, it was difficult. And I thought it was like just being a black guy entering into the industry. I said, man, it's, you know, the good old boy network. But come to find out, it was a lot of agents that looked like me that wasn't helping me out get into it. Those were the guys.
So it wasn't just the Caucasian people.
Nah, it's not a color
The
thing.
niggas hate.
It's an
The niggas
inside
hate.
outside thing. It's the people on the inside. They like being on the inside. They didn't want to keep you. They don't want to keep us in there. So I mean,
Oh.
you know, and the cool, you know, crazy thing is my my principal from high school. He was actually an agent. You know, I reached out to him a couple times, tried to intern with him. Never gave me an opportunity. So I kind of took that to heart. I was like, well, you know what? When I have my breakthrough, I'm gonna do something where we can help people, not just like me, just people who just want to get in, have an opportunity. So what we did was we actually launched the Checkmate Sports Agent Masterclass in January. And since January, we've helped over 70 people, you know, become sports agents. And the cool thing about it is they do it without having to go to law school. So you don't have
So
to take.
are your classes able to certify them?
Yeah.
To do what they need to do?
Yeah.
That's
And then
dope.
the
So you
cool
can
thing-
certify an agent, like they can go through your shit and become a license. Oh,
And
that's
get
hard.
actual credentials?
Yeah.
That's
So
hard.
the cool thing about it is because I actually heard about Neil last year during the summertime. Another agent I was talking to, he was like, man, you know, Neil's finna come out. I think that's gonna change the game. And I'm always one of those people who try to see, you know, stuff before it happens. So I ended up doing my research and I said, man, this is a game changer. We don't have to invest in these, you know, these athletes no more going to the league. We can get them in freshman, sophomore year for nothing, just building that relationship and then do right by them and then ride that wave. So I ended up writing the book, the NIL Gold Rush, back in November.
Okay.
And then we launched the company, the program in January. And since then, I mean, it's been amazing.
That's dope.
So your principal holding nut.
Man, yeah, man. Yeah, I hope you see it too, man.
Yeah, that nigga supposed to be the nigga trying to push you
Yeah,
forward and
yeah,
shit.
man. Yeah. It was
Gotta
rough,
be.
man.
That
It was
nigga
rough.
holding nut.
Yeah, it was crazy because I noticed that a lot of these other agents, you know, the big time agents that we all hear about, it's not because they were, you know, some smart guy, something like that. It's just somebody looked out for them.
Yeah.
You know, somebody
Yeah.
brought them in. And I noticed a lot of people in other communities, they would bring them in. Oh, you so and so nephew, come on. You know what I'm saying? But for us, I'm like, oh, yo, you look like me. Listen, that was like, they kind of push you away because they like being the only one in there. So I was like, okay, well, you know, we're gonna flip the script, and that's what we've been doing.
For sure.
So let me ask you this. So when you were in high school,
Mhm.
is this something that you wanted to do, or is this something that you just kind of like figured would be the best way for you to kind of get out of what you were doing?
Actually,
Were you interested in sports and shit when you
Yeah,
were
of
in high
course.
school?
I played football. I was a high school quarterback, so I wanted to
Okay.
go to the league, of course, like everybody. And then
And what happened?
I came out with Cam Newton and Russell Wilson, and I
So
was
why you ain't go?
Cause Cam Newton 6'5" and Russell Wilson throw it down the field.
They was better. He said they was better than me.
They were way better than me.
They was better than me.
I had to like, maybe this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I had to pivot, and I was like, it was either between being a coach and being an agent, and then I just like the lifestyle. I like the control of my income of an agent, and I like being an advocate and being able to fight for these players. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go the agent route, and that's what happened.
So how long you had to do? You had to take a class to go to school for this shit?
Yeah, so originally the way that we've all known to become an agent is you either have to go to law school or you have to get your master's. So I ended up going to Virginia State for my undergrad, went to Georgia State, got my master's, and then took the certification exam for the NFL and did it that way.
How long that took?
Man, I actually took the exam in 2018, right? It's 60 questions. It was 42 to pass. I got 47. Right, and this is how the NFL act, right? After we took the exam, they said, you know what? Too many people passed the exam, so we're gonna move the score from a 42 to a 48. So
and you only had 47.
So so I get it in the mail. I see you made 47 out of 60. I'm like, yes, I passed. That's good. And then they said, but we ended up, because they said it's a scaled exam. They said so and so many people passed it, so we moved it to a 48. I said, wow.
So what you had to do?
So the crazy thing is you only get taken once a year. Mm-hmm. So I had to wait an entire year, study all over again, lock in, because that test ain't easy. And I ended up passing it the following year.
I don't think it's cheap either.
Nah, it's $2,500.
There you go.
$2,500 to take the exam.
Yep.
And but the cool thing is now with the new law that passed, now you don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, so you can't take it without your master?
No. Well,
you gotta have your master. Just regular nigga can't go take that exam.
Exactly, but now you can. Now you don't have to do that anymore. Now you don't have to go to law school. You don't have to have your master's. But the industry don't want you to know that because, of course, they want to keep making all the money. Mm-hmm. So with the new law that passed in July 1st that allows student athletes to get paid, now all you have to do is go through a certification program like what we offer, and you can become an agent in 30 days. That's hard.
That's dope.
So this is something that the Big Facts fan would, like our listeners and people would ask some questions like this, right?
Okay.
What kind of money do an agent make, man? What kind of money is really in this shit?
So
the
just
high
to give
end
you an
and the low
idea,
end.
high end, everybody knows Rich Paul, right?
Yeah.
LeBron.
Jay-Z, LeBron.
Yeah. So last year, according to Forbes, he made $45 million.
Okay.
And he was ranked number 9. Now Scott Boras is.
He was ranked number 9 agent.
Yeah, ranked number 9. I think it was 8 or 9 for the top 10 highest paid agents for 2020.
Oh wow!
So in the calendar year, in the pandemic, he made $45 million. Now Scott Boras is number 1. They ranked him. I think he made.
Do soccer players and shit.
No, baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, he got all the baseball players. Mm-hmm. So he did $160 million. And then second was the soccer guy. He ended up doing like $110 million. So the thing about being an agent, it's a bunch of BS to get to the other side. But once you get in that top 10, it's crazy because you think about it. Scott Boras made $160 million. LeBron made 80. Floyd made like 100. Messi made like 100.
Oh, because he got multiple.
Biggest agents are making more money than the players. So it's it's a lot of money.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying on the ground level, like just getting into it, like
the ground level is just like anything, music, Wall Street, the top 20% of the ones who making all the money. Everybody else pretty much you could. I mean, when I say making all the money, making the millions, the 8, 9 figures. Now you can get in and you can make 100,000 here and there. But you don't become an agent to make 6 figures. You know, I made 6 figures before I became an agent. You become an agent to make millions.
Right.
Like big money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what you're doing. If you're doing it for 100,000, you can go do wholesale real estate, some stuff like that to get that. But for this is strictly 5, 10, 20, 100 million.
So when you're scouting like your prospective clients and stuff like that, what do you do to kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, reel them in and maintain that relationship all the way up until it's time for them to actually get signed? So
it just depends on how you come in. If you coming in with a bag, if you got so and so behind you, put about 2-3 million, you can go in and do pretty much what you want to do. But most people coming in, how I came in with crumbs compared to them, you got to find the diamonds in the rough. So you got to really know the talent. So that's why we went after the guys we went after our first year, because we knew that the bigger agents wasn't going to be on them. So we had to go find those guys, build that relationship, and then hopefully it blossom into the league in the next level.
But I mean, like on a personal level, what do you do to kind of like keep them under your wing so that they don't go with
You
somebody
know what
else?
I think
Or keep them loyal to you.
I think the best
for
thing
lack
to do
of a
is just
better
be
way.
a professional. You know, sometimes agents or people who want to get in the industry, they want to be the friend. They want to be the buddy. They got enough friends. They got enough buddies. They need somebody that they can trust when shit hit the fan. They want to make sure that, okay, my agent know what he's doing. My agent going to stand on the table for me. He going to protect me. So as long as you being a professional, doing right by them, not lying, you know, being upfront with them, I think that's the way the best practice. I mean, everybody has what works for them, but I think that is the best way to maintain that relationship. Because if you go in trying to be a friend, then your client going to turn into a diva, and now they going to start calling you at, you know, making, you know, just treating you like a servant, you know, and you don't want to be that. You want it to be mutual respect amongst you and your clients.
So what you do when you see goddamn, okay, I can see he got a little bit of that shit in him, he gonna go astray. What
I
you
don't do it. I don't deal with it. My first couple years, I dealt with it, you know what I'm saying, just trying to break my name. But now that I got my name, I don't deal with it because the money ain't worth it. You know, it's just, man, the worst thing to having no client is a bad client. I tell people that all the time because they going to call you, they going to blow your phone up, and then they're not going to do the right thing. The worst thing you can do is stand on the table for a player, you know, put up X amount of dollars, call a team, fight for it and get a workout, and then he get there and then he got an attitude problem or he doing the wrong thing. Because then what's going to happen now is those teams going to be like, whose guy is this?
Yep.
That's Ed guy. So now if I got another guy called, they going to be like, I don't know. So that's why you don't want to attach your name to, you know, players like that. And the league is different from the music industry. You know, the league is real. If you don't act right, they're going to get you up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that I take the same approach they take. They're not going to invest in a player 20, 30 million. So why should I invest in my player, you know, into a player if they're not acting right?
Right.
Should athletes beware of the flashy agent? Because some agents go get a lot of shit, jewelry, watches, cars, and all that shit to kind of reel them in, but they really don't be knowing the business. I done heard that too.
You know what? That's what everybody say, but I had that motto: do what winners do. And I hate to say that, but that's what people like. You know, people like that flashiness.
Do you do it?
I don't do it. I'm dabbling into it a little bit, but it's just not me personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a substance guy over flash. Just because, you know, growing up in the music industry, on the inside, I seen everybody who everybody thought had money.
The flash.
You know what I'm saying? I saw the flash. I grew up early 90s, so I saw Atlanta. I'm like, yeah, it looked good on TV, and then I'm seeing them coming back, you know, sleeping on somebody's couch. You know, so I don't really care about the flash. I care about the substance. But, you know, some agents, they win with that. But I don't think it's going to last because athletes are no longer going to be broke. You know, so if I come to the table and I've been eating ramen noodles for the last 4 years and then somebody drop $100,000, that's like, whoa, okay. That's cool. But if, you know, with this name, image, and likeness, now athletes getting $100,000 for a post. So that's like, okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of these agents who flashy, they cover it up. You know, they cover up being corny. They cover up not relating to these
That's
athletes.
like most of these niggas.
Yeah, so it's just like that. It's like, all right, I ain't got a mouthpiece. I can't relate. So you know what? Take all this money. Take all this money. And the bad part about that is it's a transaction. It's like if you buy your significant other, if you pay for her, she gonna be out the first time she hit the fan. But if you got a organic relationship, she gonna be there with you. That's why a lot of times athletes get out the league or they get in a bad spot and they call their agent. Their agent like, dude, I got 90 other clients. I'm finna go rock with them. You know, I see you later. And because it's a transaction, it's like, hey, I put the money up, you do your part. But those agents who in it for the right reason, they gonna be there and they gonna fight for them.
What's some valuable shit your pops taught you, Big Duke? Just on some life shit outside of sports, man. It could be just some life shit, how to move around out here, anything. What's some of the most valuable shit?
Pops told me a 5-minute decision can change a life. A 5-minute decision can change a life. I mean, and you just think about that from sex to drugs to freaking, you know, pulling the trigger. You know, anything you can do in 5 minutes, that could change your whole outlook on life. So when he said that, that really stuck with me. A lot of stuff. I remember when the R. Kelly stuff came out back in the day, and I was talking to Pops like, Pops, I don't think he did. He rich. And I remember we was driving down Brownsville I was going to football practice. He pulled a car over. He looked over. He said, "Hey, man, don't you ever say that, man." And I ain't realize it at the time. You get what I'm saying? But he was just like, you can never put anything past people because of money. And I was just, and it stuck with me. And he always, a lot of stuff that he said back then, it didn't hit me until I got older. And I just started realizing, like, man, he really put me up on game. And, I shout out to Pops. And shout out to my mom, too.
Duke.
Shout out to my mom.
And shout out to your mama.
She just, her cancer went into remission.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. Because that came out of nowhere. And she beat that. So she's, shout out to her because that was dope to see.
And you from the east side?
Yeah, Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain?
Yep, born and raised.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
I just want to throw out there.
Yeah. Stone Mountain, we on the upcome, man. A lot, back in the day, it used to be Decatur. Now everybody, all the movers and shakers coming out of Stone Mountain. So that's
where's up? Break that down now.
what's the most iconic song in the last 10, 15 years?
Please don't say Swag Surf.
Yeah.
It is though.
It is.
It is though.
It is.
That shit arena. That's
it is.
it.
Yeah. We got.
No offense to the Swag Surfing people, because that's my people, but FLY, but
that shit big.
That is the biggest.
No, but I'm saying he's saying that shit like.
No, it's crazy
He's saying that shit like
Swag Surfing is.
No, but he's saying that shit like some life changing niggas that came from Stone Mountain. I can name 30 niggas that came from the West Side that done changed the world.
We didn't bring the West Side.
Are they still doing it though? Are they relevant right now?
That shit.
We weren't even talking about.
Are they relevant?
Who you talking about though?
I'm talking about plenty of people. We got the West
we ain't
Side.
gonna even
We
start
ain't
that.
go to the West Side. This was Decatur and the East Side. This was Decatur and Stone Mountain. Shouts to the whole ATL and all the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
We
Shout out
ain't
to
even gonna
everybody.
start that.
Shout out to everybody.
But I am curious of who some of these Stone Mountain. Okay, I am curious. I'm just curious. I'm not knocking them.
So last time I checked, Swiss Beats was from Stone Mountain.
Is that Latonia?
Yeah,
he claimed New York.
I'm just telling you. Hey.
Charles Gambino.
Yeah, Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Charles
Yeah, Charles Gambino.
Okay.
Well, really 1.5.
Okay.
Again, because this nigga claims New York. Come on.
We got goddamn Swag Surfing.
And Charles Gambino.
Charles Gambino. Who else?
Let's take Swiss out the equation.
Take Swiss out. Swiss from New York, man.
Yeah, Swiss says he's from New York. He don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got Meezy. Meezy running the city right now.
Big facts.
Shout out to Meezy.
Big facts. Oh, big facts. He calling some nigga names.
Yeah.
Big facts. Big facts.
We got him. I mean, I'm just thinking about like a lot.
Nah, that's enough.
Yeah,
that's enough. That's enough.
That's enough.
Point made.
What more do you need? Stone Mountain.
I was going to say, and then we got the sports world. We got Marshawn. We got Drew.
Which Marshawn?
Marshawn Brooks. He ended up.
Oh yeah.
We had Drew end up going to the
Look
Lakers.
at Jay Faye. They turned up.
You got me running the sport industry.
Big mouth shit.
So, yeah, Stone Mountain.
Goddamn.
Oh yeah, Pretty Boy Tank.
Pretty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty Boy Tank.
Yeah, so Stone Mountain,
Turn up. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's hear it for the boys from Stone Mountain.
Nah, salute Stone Mountain. My whole shit started at the H room right there on Memorial, so I always got to salute Stone.
Definitely.
That boy Stone Mountain scream.
I said my whole shit. I didn't say Stone Mountain scream. But
East Side DJ
Yeah,
Scream.
Body by Ted too. He running the fitness world.
Facts.
Oh yeah, I fuck with Ted.
Facts.
I fuck with Ted.
Stone Mountain.
It sound like East Side. That's what
Nah,
it
it sounds like if y'all want me to start naming.
Man, we can go all day with the East Side, so we ain't even got to talk about that. We can go all day, bro.
We love the West
What we
Side.
doing? What's next, Screen? What we doing, Screen?
Moving on. So, what the future look like for you?
Man, the future's bright. Honestly, when I first got to the industry, I felt like it was a race to the bottom, because if you'd have had a bag, you wasn't going to beat these big agents. You know what I'm saying? You can go in there trying to be cool and all that, but they was coming in with a crazy check and money talk. But now with this new deal, it changed the game. The landscape is it's a blue ocean, and I feel like it's the wild, wild west right now. So as far as our company, Checkmate Sports, we're getting into the space of more representing athletes, professional and student athletes on the marketing side, and educating people so that they can do it. Because it's a lot of moms, it's a lot of dads who got sons and daughters who may not be Reggie Bush, but they can make money. And that's big because everybody's not going to make it to the NFL. Everybody's not going to make it to MLB. They're not going to make it to, the NBA.
Do you tell your clients that day one, like, bro, you might not make it to the NFL? Because any rapper I've ever fucked with, I'll tell them, like, you might not make it, bro. The first thing, if you want me to fuck with you, you need to know that you might not make it, bro.
I tell them because at that point, I feel like they're going to make it. You might not stay. You might not stay. That's what we pretty much, because I really don't try to go after guys that ain't going to make it. But I feel like if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you may not stay. So I feel like as far as for our company with this Neil, we can help guys, and that's powerful because now you can make generational wealth at the college level. So you don't have to make it to, because think about Tebow. Think about what's his name? The Heisman, Johnny Football.
Manziel.
These dudes had a cult
State,
following and they ain't make it in the league. But if you can cash in, $5-10 million in college or in high school, because now high school athletes can get paid.
Yeah, that's when they got to start letting these young niggas get their money early.
Yeah.
And that could change the whole landscape.
But I think the fear of that is when they're that young and get that type of money that early, and I want them to cash out. They probably ain't gonna be able to stay focused.
But get what? Stay focused on what? Nigga might get focused on some more shit though.
Right.
Nigga might get focused on some more shit.
No, I'm just saying a young person. I'm not even saying a young.
Just say,
black
means you
person.
go to college.
If we was 17 years old and we all had $5 million, all four of us, different $5 million, everybody would have a different situation with that $5 million.
And that's why they need agents.
True. That's why you hear. That's why we want to let people know.
But see, I think if you give the niggas the money early, that will prevent them from turning into MC Hammer.
What?
I
like, you know how MC Hammer got all that money, when he was older and fucked it up, fucked it all the way up.
Yeah.
If you give them the money early and they fuck up a little bit of it while they're still young, they have plenty of time to grow into adults and to understand.
I see what you're saying.
And mature with the money and understand what they're supposed to do with it, as opposed to.
Let me break this down. I agree with what you're saying.
What she said?
Go ahead, finish.
What she say?
What
moral of the story is?
The moral of the story is, if you give a nigga some money while he's young, if he fucks a little bit of it up when you give it to him, then he still has time to mature and learn what to do with the money. But if you give an old nigga some money, he's gonna fuck it up like MC Hammer did.
Yeah.
And be flat broke with $80 million.
Yeah, it can go both ways.
Yeah. That come down to money management and stuff like that.
Yeah, it go both ways. But she's saying when you young, you still got a shot because your talent's still gonna be there.
You're still there, you can get it back.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll do more good than harm. So
it's young. Yeah, get that money. Me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's gonna help you and your family out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot of times I be going to recruit players. I see players and they mom don't have a dollar to get something.
That's
from
the fucked up part.
That's crazy because you see, their son or daughter. Everybody in the stand got they jersey on. But mom can't get a hot dog, and the players can't get a job because they got to be at football practice.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's all that's changing now. So I think the future's bright.
It's like a rock and a hard place type situation.
Why they just can't get a salary from the colleges? Because colleges make billions.
Because the thing is, they like to control the players.
So it's just
but they still supposed to be able to pay them niggas something.
I mean,
they feel like they're paying them in scholarship education, which is get your education, but it's some bullshit. It's like I need to.
That's why they need to start paying these niggas, letting these niggas get their own money. So by the time I'm in school, going through this school shit, getting money, I might figure out something else, a business, before I even get to goddamn
That's not what they want you to figure out a business.
They
want you to be a
slave to that. They don't want to empower you.
To that.
They want to control you.
Yeah. So you stay here for these 2, 3, 4 years, make us a whole bunch of money we don't get. Salute.
Get your stupid salute ass on.
You stay here for 3, 4 years, and then you might go to the league.
Right.
But you know how that can go.
It is what it is.
So outside of your agency, like what type of shit do you like to do in your free time? And do you have like a family? You got kids and shit?
Yeah, I actually just got married in 2020, September, to my long-time girlfriend.
How long y'all was long time?
5 years.
September what?
September 6th. You about to get me. But I can feel it now.
That question is always scary.
I can feel it now. September 6th. Yep, September 6th. So we ended up making it official. Pandemic taught me a lot. It really at that time alone in isolation, made me realize how important family was.
You got kids?
No, not yet. So we wanted to enjoy a year together.
Okay.
And then, so, we'll see what happens next year.
So what kind of shit do you like to do?
Honestly, outside of sports, I'm real big into just self-development and just money management. So I'm big into real estate, crypto, investing, things like that. So I pretty much do what everybody do as far as...
you don't like to travel or nothing?
You know what? I worked for Delta for 10 years, and I could fly. I was throwing bags under the plane, baggage handler. And so I've been able to fly since 20. So I'm pretty much flew out from then and then just traveling, guys. Honestly, I just like being at home. I like relaxing and bills paid.
You got any games or anything that you like to play, like board games and shit?
You know what, man? I sound real boring. I'll play. I like to read books, man. I'm real big.
I said if you got a day where you want to just get on some bullshit, not extreme bullshit, but if you say, man, the day I'm gonna just be on some bullshit and maybe go to the Cheetah and get me some.
Oh yeah, so strip club stuff like that. I mean, I'm a connoisseur of that.
There you go.
I was at
let them know.
I was at Strokers last night, matter of fact.
Okay.
So that was cool, and it was
some more Stone Mountain East Side shit.
Yeah, I was at Strokers last night.
Strokers and pinups out there, right?
And it was
outside DJ Funk.
It was funny. It was funny because when I was walking in, you take your ID out, get a dude your ID or whatever, and he was like, "Hey, I know you." So I'm thinking he know me through my dad or through Funky or Brandon, my brother who would always be over there. He was like, "You that sports agent dude, right?" I was like, Yeah.
That's hard. Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He was like, oh yeah, man. I seen your class, man. I want to mess with you. Take my number. And so I put my hands up to get. He was like, man, you good, man. Go on in. I was like, all right. Cool.
Next time. Keep it on me.
Yeah.
No, next time to keep.
You know what? Let me tell everybody to mess him up. But he was cool, man. He showed a lot of love, man. And but yeah, I definitely partied in the city. But I grew up in that DJ Pretty Boy Tank, Travis Porter, Roscoe Dash. So we was at Frequency,
Figure 8 and all that.
Figure 8,
Yeah.
all that. So I partied, man. I've done everything I wanted to do. The thing I want to do now is at 30, I said I want to make real money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got enough experience. I got enough locker room war stories to tell everybody, oh, yeah, I did all this. But now, can I change my family life?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If I have a son, if I have a daughter, can I change their life? Can they call me and say, hey, Pops, I want this job. Make that call. That's what I'm focused on right now. Yeah. So party and stuff, I feel like that's pre-30. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Now get a bag. Then go party. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do. But right now we're just focusing on, bag talk.
You're also a massive Big Facts fan too. We salute you for that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, there you go. What's like 2 or 3 of your favorite episodes?
I love the one with Birdman. Birdman is an underrated genius when it comes to that music. I like Birdman. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I like the guy, the pimp guy.
Pimp again.
Pimp again.
Yeah, his was interesting. It was real interesting.
A lot of people liked him.
Yeah, I liked him.
Jay liked him.
Yeah, I was choosing.
Oh shit! All right, now
I got chose up.
Chosen pimping.
Yeah.
I also
this nigga.
on the business side, I like Aristotle stuff too.
Shouts to Aristotle.
Yeah, I like his stuff. So no.
You know him personally?
No, I don't. I know people
we gotta link
that work
together
with him, but I don't know him personally.
Okay. We gotta hook that up.
Yeah, do that. Some options.
Yeah, he cool.
Yeah.
And shout out putting it on. He up there. What did he say? He up there.
Up here.
Yeah, up there.
Yeah.
Up here where I am.
We appreciate you for coming through, my brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet
Check out his website and everything. Any final words for the people, man? Some games, some knowledge on how to get some money, how to stay out of bullshit, whatever you want to tell the people.
If I leave you guys with anything, I think my life changed when I became coachable. Prior to me being 30, I always had minimal success, but I never had that breakthrough where I could get to 7 figures. I always was stuck. You know what I'm saying, at a certain point. And then when I got 30, I said, you know what, my New Year's resolution was just to learn. Not try to be the smartest guy in the room. Just find somebody who know more than me and just be coachable. If they say do this, do it. And ever since I did that, I had a breakthrough. My life has been up. You know.
So you saying your financial breakthrough came from just shutting the fuck up and listening?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want
because sometimes we read a book, we read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then the first thing we do, we hop on the internet, act like we got it all figured out.
Exactly.
We get $1 off of Bitcoin, and now we Dave Ramsey. You know, we know everybody. You know, and so I was one of those guys because I read Rich Dad Poor Dad at 20. So I always been that. And I said, you know what? I'm sick of that. I don't want to be the smart guy no more. Who's smarter than me? And it's showing, and then I went and got next to them, and I just learned, and I soaked it up, and then from there, I realized everybody who around me was successful was married, you know. So then I said, well,
maybe I need to get married.
My girl been here for 5 years. She been, you know, holding me down. I said, let me go get married, and it was funny because when I did it,
a lot of niggas losing their bitches, man. This shit, man, that shit be fucked up. You lose your girl, man.
Yeah, why you think they losing them?
I don't know.
What's that about?
Oh man,
you alright?
Hell no, I've been locked in. I've been locked in 30 years, man. I ain't going nowhere, man. Okay. We locked.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, having the right one, significant other.
Yeah, that shit help. That shit take something from you too when you
got the wrong one.
Yeah, not when you lose that one.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, man.
That shit take something from you.
Why you think people? Why you think people? It don't be working out.
That pandemic.
Think the pandemic?
That pandemic fucked up a lot of relationships.
It did.
It's either made them stronger or fucked them up.
Yeah.
Because you actually got to see who this person was.
All day, all night.
You know what I'm saying? I got to be locked in with you now. I see flaws that I never would have saw.
You know what's interesting? I realized that most people get married for the wrong reason.
And what are those?
I feel like, you know, you signing a marriage contract because it's a business decision. You get it? So when whoever you marry, they should be an asset. They should make you better because you guys are coming together, combining wealth.
Facts.
And so it's not just, you know, love is important, but it also have to make sure that this is a good business decision. That way, because love and stuff like that can be fleeting. It's temporary. But at the end of the day, you still got to do business.
What you think is a bad business decision?
You know, it depends on your situation. So if you got $20 million and then you marrying somebody who, you know, down bad, you know, that might be a bad decision. And and I know it sounds, you know what I'm saying?
That really ain't. That really ain't.
Yeah, I was saying. I can't say that. So listen. No, just for curiosity, would you rather have the almost equally yoked partner that ain't gonna really be loyal to you, or that's using you, don't give a fuck about you as a person?
Are they equally yoked?
What I'm not saying. No, what I'm saying financially.
Okay.
All right, financially, you worth 20, they worth 10, but they on some bullshit. Or would you rather have this person, look, I don't have nothing I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to shut the fuck up and follow you and help you build your empire.
Then that's a good business decision. Because they going to listen. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you got somebody who if they got bad financial decision, then that might hurt you. So I just feel like, you know, they got to be a business partner and romantic as well.
Okay.
I think that'll help.
Fair enough.
I'm about to
oh my goodness, man.
Hey, no, I feel like if I had $20 million,
you getting whoever.
Nah, if I had $20 million and I married somebody who didn't have as much money, that means I love her, right? Right?
For them.
Yeah.
You love them for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no. You love them for them. That's the way it should be.
But I ain't just looking for nobody for no motherfucker.
But why sign a contract for that though? If you love her, just move her into your house, take care of her for the rest of your life, and die.
That's real shit. Why sign a contract?
Why sign a contract?
Yeah, if it ain't, cause that real shit though. That real shit. Not like what he said. Like at the end of the day, shit, I can just love you then.
Yeah, if that's what it is. This is love.
Why we gotta put this shit on? Yeah.
But if it's now we're going into business.
I learned something today.
Yeah.
So I'm already locked in.
Yeah, you locked in.
It's different. 15.
It's
but I'm
different.
saying, nah, you just gave them folks some real game though.
Yeah.
Like, why shit? We married. He gonna ring and everything.
Jay don't like it.
But I'm not putting this shit on paper.
I'm not really big on titles and shit like that. So I'm with that.
I can give you the big ring, call you my wife, but we ain't gotta do no contract. Basically.
Huh?
How that's some bullshit?
Why is that?
How that's some bullshit?
Why is that?
You know what it is? Because I got sisters.
What the marriage do? What the paper do though?
Hold accountable. Yep.
Nah, the paper don't do nothing but goddamn guarantee if you fuck up, she get half of that money.
Bingo.
That's what I said, hold you accountable.
Shout out PJ Washington.
Or if something happens to you, she'll be able to take care of you.
It's tax benefits.
But I can put that money in Lil name. I don't gotta have the money in her name. I can put that money in somebody else's name.
It's not even about the money. Like if something was to happen to you and
she got to make a decision.
And you weren't coherent. Somebody else.
The laws of our land.
Right.
She can't make decisions if y'all not married.
Well, niggas understand that part. You got somebody else that. Yeah, somebody else gonna handle that. But I'm saying you put a big old ass rock on her hand.
But see, that shit don't matter because some people don't give a fuck about shit like that. About big rocks and shit like that.
No, what I'm saying, whatever that we do, whatever that say we married, without signing that paperwork, I'm doing. Basically. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm taking you out. I'm loving you like a wife. I'm treating you like a wife.
But then she gonna ask you, why won't you sign the paperwork?
For what?
What is that about?
If that's the case.
I'm just saying, I get what he's saying. I already done signed the motherfucker.
Right,
20 years.
No, I
signed shit 21 years ago.
3, yes, for sure.
What I'm saying is, if I would have thought about this.
I thought about it.
Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, what are we doing this for?
That's what
like real nigga shit. That's the episode now.
Well, yeah, that's a whole episode. Why are we doing this?
Write that down.
Yeah, like why is the nigga doing that?
Why are we doing this? Why did I get married?
Now, why did I sign that contract?
Yeah.
Every time I've signed the
contract. You make it sound so technical.
Every time I've signed the contract, I receive something.
Technical.
It's technical.
Before you, all that ceremony shit and all that shit.
That's
until
what
that paperwork come in, that shit don't mean nothing.
Right.
Every time we sign a contract, they send a wire.
Yeah.
So when I signed the contract, what?
You got a life partner. Your wire right on paper.
Your wire is your wife,
I got her.
On paper.
I got her.
Yeah.
We ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I'm saying, what that paper? Why a motherfucker got to stand up here? The state of Georgia have to tell me I'm married forever if I'm saying this shit forever. I don't get that.
No.
I'm just being 100. Why take a judge or a preacher to stand here and tell me that I'm married or I'm gonna love this woman forever when I'm already signed up for it?
Right. That's a big fact. But
I want to understand that.
See, when you get
like,
ready,
who made this shit up?
Playing devil's advocate. When you a nigga and you fucking get ready to fucking like do some like fuck shit bullshit, that paper makes you think twice.
Not really.
Not really. Nigga don't give a fuck about that paper.
Look at Jeff Bezos and all these dudes.
Don't give a fuck about that paper. Because get what? At the end of the day, I love you enough, bitch. You gotta have this shit anyway. That's just how it go. You think Jeff Bezos and all them niggas give a fuck about getting they wife? I did love you enough for you to have half of this.
Take that.
I don't care. Go ahead.
Especially if you help build it.
Right.
Yeah, if you been there since that, go ahead.
So why do people feel like, again, this go back to losing your wife or your girl or whatever the case is?
Come on, we're gonna say this for Big Fat Friday.
For sure, but I just gotta throw this out there. I lost my wife, my girl. I lost everything. They put everything with that.
No, they had everything.
Nah, because that bitch was doing everything for them.
Nah, they mental. When you lost everything, you lost your mental and your heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and we will revisit this, sign the fucking paperwork.
For what?
Well, why not? You go sign a record contract.
I ain't know no better.
Niggas go sign record contracts. Niggas go sign record contracts and all other
what I'm
type of
saying
bullshit.
is, I'm not taking that away from what I got going on, bro. I love my wife unconditionally.
Yes.
And the paperwork don't mean shit to me. I don't even know where it said. I ain't even seen it no more since I signed it.
I feel you.
What I'm saying is,
she got it though.
Why the fuck does that matter?
She got it.
It's in a safe.
There you go. That's why it matters.
It's a symbol.
It's a contract. That's what it is. You're combining wealth.
What the fuck is the ring then?
But who's the motherfucker gotta tell me that? So basically, the motherfucker gotta solidify me.
No, it's the same people that tell you how fast you can drive, how slow you can drive, stop at the red light. It's they. We get that part. I feel you on that shit. Who the fuck are they?
Y'all ain't feeling me, Stream.
Who the fuck are they? I feel you. Who the fuck are they?
But
like, long as God knows.
Yeah.
Long as me and God say, dish me forever.
But I think marriages are more for like
God signed the paper?
for the female validation of
For
the
sure.
situation because
For sure.
females
Female wanna be
have
married.
mothers, sisters, family
Yeah.
members, aunties, cousins, daddies, everybody. Like the nigga ain't put a ring on the check. Like y'all ain't married. Y'all like all
Think
kind
about
of
a
shit because you got to look at it like back in the day. Like marriage was a common practice of the institution of love and finances.
Also, some something that you're supposed to do in front of God.
Man, all that shit. Cap. They just making some shit to make a nigga say he don't supposed to have but one bitch, man. At the end of the day. All right, marriage is supposed to make it.
You can marry more than one.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, man, that's just some shit they throwed on in the game, bro. Niggas supposed to be kings. You're supposed to be kings, man.
You know why they stopped that?
That's why it ain't enough. That's why it's a shortage on niggas.
What?
You said so.
Listen, cause this
Friday, man.
Yeah.
Say less.
All right.
Hold up, what you finna say?
Basically, if you study history back in the day, all the rich people, so all the Floyd Mayweathers, they could get 100,000 of girls. The problem with that is most people was poor. So they would leave countries and go to other countries where they could get women. And so that would make those countries weak because they didn't have no soldiers and stuff like that. So that's why they make it so that one man, one girl. Because if, you know, the richest dude got 100 girls, you know, now these dudes sitting around here like, man, I'm going to DR, you know, and that changed power.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. We appreciate you, bro. Get everybody that website for you slap.
Hey, www.sportsagentmasterclass.com/opt-in. It'll be in the link.
All right. That's what it is.
All right.
BigFactsPod.com.
Eastside Stone Mountain shit.
Oh yeah, before we finish, I gotta shout out my boy Sean, Spiritual Word.
Spiritual Word,
for the
salute.
Fucking hoodie.
Salute.
Amazing platform. Really
Shows us a
great
lot of
guy.
love.
Crazy merch.
Big facts.
Shows us a
fuck
lot
Oh
of
yeah,
love.
call my agent _ Instagram. Follow me.
That's what it is. www.bigfactspod.com.
Salute.
Salute.
There it is.